you arrive at your destination safe. It's a wet Monday, really. Anyways, my name is Wisdom Chapp-Jumbo, and then if you're just joining, this is Power Solutions. Power Solutions is powered by Energy Impact Investment Company, all on in partnership with Nigeria Info, your number one talk station. And we come to you every Monday at about this time, 11:30, to tell you everything you need to know happening in the power sector, renewable energy, and all you need to know within the off-grid space. How can you power your home with an alternative power solutions? What can solar do for you? And what are other renewable energy sources you need to know? And we've been having these conversations every Monday, every week, and a lot to learn. I hope you learned something today, because we have an amazing topic to discuss, and I have a fine gentleman as my guest today. We are discussing the role of solar in serving rural C&I customers. Don't worry, my guest would explain better what that means. Yeah. So, but how is solar serving people in the rural communities? How can solar serve people in the rural communities? How is it serving at the moment? And what can we do better? So my guest today is Mr. Adeyemi Adeosun, who is the business manager in what they call EPC at Hawkspire System. EPC is engineering, procurement, and construction. He will tell us all of those details. But as we go on to the conversation, Lagos, as always, you can call me. I'll let you know when to call me, but just note the number down, 700 993 993 993, just in case you need to call me as the conversation goes on. We'd like to hear your thought too, but learn something new. If you're driving, you can turn up the volume of your radio so that you can hear this more. How solar is serving rural communities in Nigeria, and what Hawkspire Systems, a solar company, is doing in that space to see what they can do. Anyways, without much ado, let me bring up my guests. Mr. Adeyemi, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Wisdom. I'm pleased to be here.
Yeah, I'm pleased to have you too. We met at the Nigeria Energy Conference last week.
That's correct. Yeah.
And it was good to see you speak too. How was the conference for you? Let's talk about that briefly before we go into the talk. How was the conference? What are your feedbacks, the conversations? What are your thoughts about the conference?
It was an amazing conference.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of people gather to actually showcase the future of energy in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
And, previously to now, COVID actually didn't allow us have that kind of gathering for quite a while.
Yeah.
So it was amazing seeing people speak to the future of renewable energy, especially on the topic I spoke around bringing smart grids to
about that too.
Achieving the Nigerian electrification transition. So it's amazing, and we are looking at the future of this sector, and also to propagate what we require for our businesses and to lift a lot of people out of poverty.
But how is, before we move on, how is smart metering helping companies like yours within the space? How is it doing? How is that helping at all? Smart metering.
Okay, so what we want to do is we don't want any sort of energy loss at any point.
Okay.
And we also want to cap the energy requirement for each customer at a certain threshold.
Okay.
Based on our agreement or what we've been able to discuss with that sort of customer. So what smart metering does is it allows that other people has access to power.
Okay.
And is a sort of also ensuring that the available power to other people will be sufficient enough without a loss. So smart metering is actually the way to go in this sector towards bringing reliable energy to our team and customers.
Beautiful. I love that. And I loved all the delivery from the speakers from the conference, and it was so much excited. And all the amazing people I met last week at that conference. I love it. I love that and the audience, the numbers at the conference was super amazing. I love that. So let's keep that up, and I hope we'll be able to have more of those kind of conversations going forward. And it was really nice to see you also at the conference. All right. If you're listening to us, the voice you're hearing, my guest in the studio is Adeyemi Adeosun, who is business manager, EPC, Hawkspire Systems. Now, let's talk about this, your role, EPC, engineering, procurement, and construction. Please break this down. What typically is your role?
Okay, thank you. I was going to also speak to the EPC, so it doesn't seem like vague to the people hearing us. So engineering, procurement, and construction, as you rightly said, and the expectation in the renewable energy sector is such that you need to be specific around those three angles that engineering, procurement, and construction is speaking to. So for engineering, it entails site analysis, energy audit, and system design. Because there is no one system fits all for every customer. There is a peculiar energy need for a certain customer, and that system needs to speak to that. Then procurement of equipment required. Then importation and logistics, because right now we much rely on bringing in a lot of components we use. I know we are going to develop some sort of competence in providing those locally in the nearest future. Then the construction part of it, solar installation, the storage system, which is the backup, which we call the batteries, and system commissioning. So that's like the breakdown of what EPC means, engineering, procurement, and construction.
Okay. I mean, now you explain, it's easier to understand. Okay. So energy audit, but Nigerians don't take energy audit. They don't. Most people don't understand energy audit. You want to break that down more further. What does energy audit entail, really?
Okay, so energy audit is very essential in making recommendations to customers or preferring a renewable energy solution, because we don't want a situation where solution designed for a certain customer will not meet the customer's need or will be more than what the customer requires. So there is no loss of investment in between making recommendations, designing, and also implementing. So energy audit takes care of every component that needs to be powered, every appliance, be it your bulb, be it televisions, TVs, be it equipment for industrial use. So what we do is we actually get to know what the power rating of such appliances are and the amount of hours you require to run using those appliances. So we can make detailed recommendation that will meet your energy requirements. So it's a very essential point in making recommendations in our line of business.
Interesting. All right, Lagos, if you're just joining the conversation, this is Power Solutions. Power Solutions is powered by All On. All On is Energy Impact Investment Company, and we are doing this in partnership with Nigeria Info, your number one talk station. And we have been talking to Mr. Adeyemi Adeosun, who is manager EPC at Hawkspire Systems. He's talking to us about the role of solar in serving rural C&I customers. Now, Mr. Adeosun, I want to ask you about Hawkspire. Now, I know it's been about 2 years since Hawkspire came into the Nigerian space. I know about it, but can you tell us about Hawkspire? And I also would like to add that we understand that Husk is the operator of the largest fleet of rural solar hybrid microgrids in Nigeria currently. Now, tell us more about this. Can you explain?
Okay, thank you very much. Husk is an amazing company that actually started in 2008. But its operation started 2 years ago in Nigeria. And Husk is a leading company in net zero service company across Asia and Africa. We want to provide energy across Asia and Africa, but our focus here right now in Nigeria is to ensure that we can provide sustainable power that are smart and clean, that would add value to the lives. And
so how do you refer to yourself? Is it a solar company or a mini grid company? How do you describe it?
We operate in both. So renewable captures solar, captures mini grid, captures other sources. We do biomass also, which is also part of renewable energy, but we have not been able to execute that anywhere in Nigeria, but we have that as part of our successes in India. And our focus on customers, ensuring we grow their aspirations of business and also able to power households, ensuring that the value that we are bringing in the chain is actually achieved. So Hawkspire, and we've been able to develop expertise, local expertise in executing around the EPC. And apart from also executing our own mini grid installations, we also do engineering procurement for companies that are also in that part of providing mini grid services but doesn't have that.
So it's just a chain of different services you offer.
It is.
It
actually.
is okay. But tell us about this fleet now. Fleet of microgrids, the largest microgrids. I mean, tell us what's happening there. How come? How do you know Hawks is the largest? What is that number?
Across our operations, we've been able to build 250 mini grids. Serving a minimum of 250 connecting customers to ensure that we can alleviate poverty, energy poverty in underserved and non-served communities. So looking at our achievements and our trajectory in that aspect, we know and we've been able to measure that impact, that we are actually the leading, because we don't have anybody in that actual mark with us. We have rivals. Because we are also providing service and trying to solve a certain problem, but we know we are leading by also providing efficiency in our services. So it's and in Nigeria, in the space of 2 years, we've been able to situate over 12 mini grids. And what we are trying to ensure is we are particular about what I mentioned about underserved and non-served customers, where you've not had grid at any point in time, and grid would actually add to the value of their lives, especially around agriculture, education, the health sector, and the likes of it. So it's the results are there, and we are really making the impact in improving lives.
Beautiful. Before I probably go to the phone lines or take any further, I wanted to ask you now, one of your recent projects at Hawkspire, when I was preparing for the show, I observed is focused on helping telecommunications company transit from their mobile powers from using diesel to now using solar power. We know there are a lot of mobile towers around the area, and now Hawks is helping these companies, from using diesel, which consumes a whole lot, to now going on solar. Now it's amazing, because I want you to tell me about the possibility of this. How is that project going? If you want to talk more about more details on the project.
Okay, Hawks got into partnership with Hotspot. Hotspot is a TowerCo company.
TowerCo?
Yes.
Okay.
So they provide service to mobile telecommunication companies, and they run basically on diesel. Then the collaboration is such that we can power those TowerCos, and that is one of our expertise in the CNI space, ensuring that we can provide power in the CNI rural space.
You want to break what CNI is, so people understand?
Yeah, it's commercial and industrial.
Okay.
Then looking at the nature of what is required for rural environments to strive, and to also lift people out of poverty. So that collaboration is such that we've been able to power 20 sites for Hotspot. And
where are these sites?
The sites are around our mini grids in Nasarawa. And what we've been able to achieve is such that those sites run, instead of emitting carbon into the air, running on diesel, which is very expensive in their own business operations. We've been able to power those sites and ensure that we deliver power to them without failing 24/7.
So what you're saying now is these 20 sites you have now powered, they are fully on solar?
Definitely. They are running on solar. Diesel is out of what they need to incur in their operational cost. And we've been able to bring mobile telephoning network to 2 of the communities where we serve currently. They've never been connected on mobile technology before. So we're also leveraging improving lives, bringing access to digital technology to them, and also making the ease of payment for fintech companies to also be able.
These communities they don't have, so there's no mobile service there before.
Yeah. So I what I was saying earlier is we serve communities. Currently, our mini grids are at communities where power had never been to at any point
in their entire life. Forever.
Exactly. But we're actually making the difference. That's the beauty of the expertise Hawks is bringing to the renewable energy sector.
Impressive. Lagos, if you're listening to me, you can call me. Join the conversation 0700 993 993 993. And I've been talking to Mr. Adeyemi Osun, Mr. Adeyemi Adeosun, who is business manager EPC for Hawkspire Systems, and interesting to learn what is happening within the space, especially in their mini grid sites in Nasarawa, where they are powering communities that have never been on power before. They've never seen power before. We have a caller. Let's quickly take this call. Let's hear who is speaking to us. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Power Solutions. Talk to me.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes.
Is it Nigeria Info?
Yeah, this is Nigeria Info.
I'm happy to hear from you this morning. My name is Michael.
Michael, talk to us.
Yeah. So concerning that gentleman that in your studio talking about solar system.
Yes.
He is mentioning a rural area that has no this thing before.
Yes.
That has no light in their entire life.
Yes.
What is the name of the community?
Okay.
And how the generation of the solar system is?
Okay, thank you so much for your question. Thank you. All right, yeah, I was about to go there too. Tell us some of the names. I mean, you said 20 communities you've been able to, power with this. So tell us about these communities.
We have in Idadu, in Nasarawa, we have in Kiguna.
Okay.
Those are some of the sites where we are powering currently, and where we have our customers connected and we are affecting lives positively. So if anybody listening to the show can resonate with those names in Nasarawa, you would actually confirm
Idadu,
Kiguna.
And Kiguna.
Yes, you actually confirm this information that those villages are not being on national grid before. So one of our expertise and expectation is also to affect lives and make lives better. And especially looking at those people that have never been connected before is an exciting thing to see them have grid, grow their businesses. Their children also have access to power, something they've not seen in their life. And we've also been able to ensure that we bring in appliances that are modern day appliances that can also work in line with what we are also providing.
Let's take this call, and we have a call on the line too. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning, Power Solutions. Talk to me.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, the gentleman that my name is Hebrew. I'm calling from Bejuleki.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. The gentleman that is talking about solar system.
Yeah.
We have been hearing about this solar system for long.
Okay.
And in Lagos here, there are people who are even ready to pay for these things for it to work. There was a time that people should come for the training here and there, and in reality, people really came and give them training, and every house, every doorstep, you were able to see something like that.
Okay.
But to maintain it is a major problem. I can give a service of solar system, but give the people how to maintain it. It's not easy to maintain it.
All right, thank you.
Himself is not even going to that aspect now.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I get this question now, which was going to the next one I was going to ask you.
Okay.
What are the challenges of having this kind of project, and how do you teach the people, the community people, how to use it? Is there sort of like a training? It's just how do you carry the community people along to be able to use these systems efficiently?
Okay, so
first of all, the challenges of doing this kind of project, your mini grids and putting this, the one you've done with the recent project. What are some of the challenges you want to highlight in 1 minute? Then tell us, how do you carry the communities along using this product efficiently?
Okay, so our own expertise in providing solution and providing power to people, in relating to what the last caller mentioned, is there's a lot of education that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of renewable energy businesses out there. What sort of equipment are deployed to you? What sort of expertise does the people that deployed it, what sort of expertise do they have in that regard? And I mentioned energy audits earlier. Do you have a captured energy audits before a solution recommendation was made to you?
Okay.
And all those questions comes into the reason why we are also deliberate in ensuring that our rural C&I customers are well served, and we tailor the kind of solution that is going to meet their expectation. And we also look at investment over a period of time. We look at is it wise to invest in this kind of solution, maybe for an individual that wants a standalone rooftop solar solution. Apart from providing mini grids, we look at businesses within the localities where we operate that want their own standalone rooftop solution.
Okay.
And we make those recommendations.
Well, they don't have to necessarily connect to the mini grid. They can have their standalone.
They can choose to have their standalone by choice.
Okay.
So what we do is the choice of equipment, educating them, and also ensuring that at the points where we make recommendations, design and installation, we do proper handing over and commissioning. So there is no ambiguity. So if you were talking to maybe some we have a lot of quacks in the industry, sorry to use that word, but they will not actually deliver your expectation, and you will believe renewable energy solution don't work. People will tell you, can it power anything? Can it power an iron?
So the mini grids you have installed now, they power everything
perfectly.
Their fridge, their freezer, their everything.
That's why
everything.
we are also, yes, we are also deliberate about also servicing them by providing smart appliances.
Smart appliances. Let's take this call now before we continue. Hello, good morning, Power Solutions. Welcome to the show.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
My name is Godwin.
Your name is?
Godwin. I'm calling from Aja.
All right, talk to me.
Yeah. Like you have said, there are some communities that haven't connected to the national grid and they have not seen light at all. So, like, I'm in Lagos right now, but I'm from Cross River State.
Okay.
I know very well there are a lot of communities in my state where I'm from, which is Cross River, that they have not been connected in their entire life at all. So, I want to ask, how will they benefit from this power system? That's the question.
All right, thank you so much. I like how the callers are joining the conversation and leading us to the next. I mean, it seems like we're in connection. You know, the next question I had to ask you, how do you plan to scale this service? This service you offer to these rural C&I customers. What's the plan to scale? Now, there are many areas. I know of a community somewhere in Kogitu that also is off the grid. And this kind of solutions will be very useful for them. Like the caller has said, there's a community in Calabar, you know, and there are several communities. Like, what is the plan to scale to all areas?
Thank you for the question. So we have two different definite plan.
Okay.
A different plan for the C&I rural sector, and a different plan for the mini grids. That's to take care of underserved or communities that are not being served.
Okay.
So the C&I deployments will take care of customers that are willing to have their standalone rooftop solution, as I mentioned.
Okay.
Is it for a business need? Is it for a personal home use?
Okay.
Or is it for a definite use that you actually need it for? Then we can take care of that under the C&I rural deployment.
Okay.
Then we are deliberate around the sectors also. I mentioned agriculture, I mentioned education, I mentioned health, and we are also ensuring that on the mini grid site, we do a lot of site selection and scoping before we situate. Okay. Because there's a lot of financial investment that goes into it.
Yeah, of course.
We do site selection. Currently, we have over 200 sites that are ready for deployment.
In Nigeria.
We've been able to select. We've been able to ratify all what we have to do. And we are
Please,
sure...
is Kogi part of that?
I can't tell you right now.
Okay.
But I'm sure we are progressing and we are at the verge of achieving what we are out there to achieve.
Okay.
So we can talk to the gentleman that called. If he can speak with us, give us insight into where he's talking about. We have our experts, our GIS experts, that would look at those locations, look at what are the economic values. Are we going to be adding values? So a lot of things, questions that we need to check. We need to cross a lot of T's and dots the I's. Then we'll move forward into what we have to do. But we are definitely in this business to achieve that goal by powering a lot of lives and making things better.
Beautiful, beautiful. If you're just joining the conversation, this is Power Solutions. Power Solutions is powered by Allon, Energy Impact Investment Company, with support from your number one talk station, Nigeria Info. And my name is Wisdom Chapp-Jumbo, and my guest in the studio today is Mr. Adeyemi Adeosun, who is business manager EPC for Hawkspire Systems, and we've been discussing how do we power communities who are off the grid. Can we take this call now? There's another call on the line. Quickly, we have a few minutes. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the show. You have 60 seconds.
Okay, good morning. My name is Isaac. I'm calling from Lucky.
Okay.
Please, I think I'm interested in everything I'm hearing from you guys. It's a wonderful one. Like the last caller said, I think there's a place in Cross River State, I want to be precise. There's a community called Gabo. in Yala local government area of
Okay.
Cross River State, which will have some person like coming to introduce this solar stuff there, but they just came and do some kind of
All right.
begging. Is going to be here from here to here, and
Alright.
nothing has happened since then up to now. So I don't know if it's their company, this particular one company, or is another one that is there.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, how a lot of people will want to reach out now. I don't know if there's any way they can reach out directly to Hawks. And you can see a lot of recommendation is coming on other areas that are off the grid, and there are many of them like that, So is there a way to connect and reach out to Hawks?
Yes, so you can reach out to us on our email is info@hawkspowersystems /ng.com.
Okay.
And you can also reach out to myself. My name is Adeyemi, as you rightly said, the business manager for EPC for Hawkspire system. Maybe I should call out my mobile number
If you're willing to.
Yeah, so you can reach me on 080-2222-0569.
Okay, can you take that again?
Yeah, 080-2222-0569.
Okay.
Then we can take the conversation forward. Bring all the requests. Let us look at it. Let us qualify it, and I'll give you the right feedback on how to move forward.
Okay, beautiful. Just before I let you go, we are already out of time. Few more minutes. I know Hawks has set a growth target for Nigeria to sort of install 100 mini grids in 24 months, and this number is coming from last year when I had the conversation with your CEO. But now you have done. How many have you done now, and what is the plan? It's been 12 months gone already. Where are you in the 100? I know you are looking at 500 by 2026. Where are you now, and what's the plan?
Okay.
In 1 minute, because you're about to just run up.
Okay, so currently we have 12 mini grids that we're situated. We are going to hit the number of 20 before the end of the year. And we are also looking at achieving 500, as you have said, for 2026. We have over 200 sites that as I mentioned, has been qualified, that has been qualified to be situated for a mini grid to be situated in those locations. And we don't have challenge. Funding is coming. Our executive are speaking to the right people. So execution is just very fast at the tip of our fingers, and we are going to get things done.
Yeah, I had this question just to let you know we are monitoring how Hawks is going, what the progress is, and we'll keep tabs on what it is. Before I let you go, Mr. Adeyemi Adeosun, can you just call that number again one more time, because they need to reach out to you?
Yeah, it's 080-2222-0569.
All right, beautiful. We're out of time and we have to go. Again, this is Power Solutions, powered by All On Energy Impact Investment Company, with support from Nigeria Info. And we cannot finish all the conversations today, but you can also check out Hawks on social media at Hawkspire across all social media platforms, and do well to also follow All On. And yes, I wanted to say, you can catch this episode again on our YouTube channel. Just find on YouTube at All On Energy. At All On Energy. Just type All On Energy on YouTube to catch this conversation again, in case you want to have a replay anytime from tomorrow. You can catch it there. So until I come your way again next week, keep a date with us every 11:30 on the show, and to hear more about Power Solutions. My name is Wisdom Chapp-Jumbo, and it's been fun having this. Mr. Adeyemi, thank you so much for coming on the show.
A pleasure.
Again, we'll be following Hawks and see how that is going.
Thank you, Wisdom.
The news is up next. Until next week, cheers.
.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Nigeria Info.